everyone! My name is Sean Scrutchins. I'm a teaching artist with the Colorado Shakespeare Festival. And today, we're going to be focusing on animals. Specifically, how animals can be inspiration when we're approaching a character. So we're going to be looking at animals, we're going to be talking like animals, we're going to be behaving like animals. But first, we're going to do some warm-ups to warm up the body and the imagination. I'm going to count 8 counts, all right? And I'm going to start with this left hand, and I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and we're going to be shaking. And then we're going to go this hand, and we're going to do this hand, and then we're going to do that foot, and then we're going to do this foot. And we're going to go 8, 8, 8, 8, and then we're going to go 6, 6, 6, 6, 4, 4, 4, 4, 2, 2, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, and then we're going to shake, all right? So bear with me. You'll pick it up as we go, but we're going to start with this hand. We're going to do 8 counts. Ready? And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, and then shake it all about. Very good. All right. So now the body's all warmed up, all right? Let's work on our face and let's start to work on our imagination, all right? So this next one is called lion face, lemon face. So what we're doing is we're going really big for the lion face. It's almost kind of like a jumping jack where you go out and in, but for the lion, take up as much space and really exaggerate the face like you're roaring like a lion. And lion face. Very good. Then we go lemon face. So you're coming in and you're taking up very little space and you're scrunching up the face like you just had a bite of a very, very sour lemon. All right, so lion face. Lemon face. Lion face. Lemon face. Lion face. Lemon face. Lion face. Lemon face. Very good. All right. I think the body is finally warmed up. Now, imagination time. So this game is called Pass the Object. Now normally when I play this game, I have my students stand in a big circle and we pass an object around the circle. We don't have that, but it'll still work. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be starting off with an object. And I'm going to be using my imagination to turn that object into something else. And I'm going to change it a couple of times just so you know how the game works. And then I'm going to pass it to you. And I'm going to see if you can change that object. So bear with me, we'll figure it out as we go. So first, my first object, I'm going to start off with a basketball. So I got to think, how can I use this basketball? So basketballs, I can dribble them, right? So just dribble in the basketball, right? Just dribble. Maybe I switch hands, very good. You shoot it, very good. And then I get it back, and I'm bouncing, So I got to think, how can I change what I'm doing into something else, right? And sometimes, if we want to change something, we've got to play around with how we're using it. Maybe I can slow it down. Very good, slowing it down, almost like dribbling in slow motion. Now I'm already starting to see something here. I don't know if you are, but if you notice my wrists, kind of changing with my wrist, what does this look like? Kind of looks like a yo-yo, kind of like I'm yo-yoing, right? So there you go. So the yo-yo goes down and then it comes up and it can do a trick. And it comes back. Very good. So I changed that basketball, this action, slowing it down into a yo-yo. So great. Now let's see if I can change that again. What does this look like? Maybe I change around with the movement. Maybe I work more on the wrist. Very good. What does this look like? Oh, I don't know. Maybe, so I'm doing the flat hand. Maybe I can change the grip of the hand. So maybe, I'm already starting to see something here. It's kind of like, I got a bucket. It's kind of like I'm painting. So it's like a paintbrush. So I dip the paintbrush. It's like I'm painting a big fence. Very good. I'm painting. So that's I went for basketball to yo-yo, into painting. Very good. Now it's your turn. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hand you this object. Actually, you know what? I'm going to change it one more time. I'm going to see if I can change it one more time before I hand it to you, because I already have an idea about what I want to do with this now. So now I have this thing in my arm over here. It's like a basket, and my hand I can change around with the action of putting my hand in the basket. It's kind of like I'm grocery shopping, and I'm looking at the item on the shelf and I'm putting it in the basket. I'm walking along. Yeah, very good. Yeah, the expiration date's good. Put that in the basket there. I'm shopping. So I went from basketball to yo-yo to painting to shopping. And now you're going to change it. So I'm going to take my last item, I'm going to put it in my basket, and I'm going to hand my basket to you. So when I hand this basket to you, continue shopping like I was just doing, but I want to see if you can change it, all right? Now just know that you don't have to get the answer right away. It can take a while. Take your time with it. So when I'm done talking and I hand this basket to you, I want you to pause the video and play around with it. See what you can change shopping into. And once you've changed it and you played with it, you can press pause again and I'll see you after. So here is your basket. Have fun. Was that fun? Did you create a different object? What's great about that game is it really gets the imagination going. So now that we're all warmed up, let's talk a bit about animals. You know, animals are great. They have so much personality. Now, even though they don't talk like you and me, just the way they walk, the way they sit, the way they eat, the way they look at other animals, you can really pull some of what they do and put it into a human character. And actors, what we call this is creative inspiration. You are being inspired by that animal to make it human. Now, I'm not saying that when I choose what an animal is, I'm becoming that animal as a character, but really I'm just taking bits and pieces and putting them into a character. A lot of times when I'm approaching a Shakespeare character, I'm thinking, you know, how can this person be like an animal? Or what can I find that's interesting and put that into a Shakespearean character? So I'm sure you all have your favorite animals. I'm sure you have animals in your home that you would love to be right now. But what we're just going to be doing is focusing on an animal that's one of my favorite animals. So you're going to be kind of putting on this animal. And there's really 3 phases to it. First, you observe. You observe the animal. You look at it and you try to think, how does this animal move? And once you've observed it and you kind of understand it, then you create it. So you're taking those qualities and you're putting them into your bodies. That's the second phase. First phase, observe. Second phase, create. Third phase, now this is a little bit harder phase, you adapt. You pick and choose, what can I use as a character? Because like I said, you're not an animal the whole time, but really you're picking, like kind of editing, like which parts you can use in your character. So observe, create, and adapt. So let's look at the first phase. We're first going to observe, and we're going to observe one of my favorite animals, the meerkat. It's a funny animal, has a lot of personality, and I'm sure you recognize it. That it's been in a lot of movies, Lion King, Timon, but we're going to just observe the meerkat. First phase, observe. So first we're just going to kind of observe the meerkat. We're going to kind of look at how it stands first. So looking at it right now, what do you see in this picture? So I see the arm. The first thing I see is kind of the arms, how the arms kind of are forward, kind of like, here, I'll turn to the side. They're kind of forward. They're not back, not like right at the side, but they're kind of forward like that, right? So the arms are kind of forward right there, like this. And also, what else do I see? I see that the head's kind of forward. Now, this isn't a video, it's just a picture. But a lot of times when you see meerkats, this is kind of the scout. So the scout that's looking out for predators flying in the air. So you kind of see the head doing this a lot, right? Kind of looking around, and like that, kind of observing. So here's some questions. Let's do away with the image. I want to ask some questions. So when we observe, I like to think of these questions. I like to think about speed. Is it fast or is it slow? So when I see the meerkats, you know, they're not like slowly looking around. They're kind of fast. They kind of swivel that head, kind of like that, kind of fast. And oftentimes in the animal kingdom, the smaller the animal you are, the faster you are. The bigger the animal you are, and the slower you are. So speed, meerkat is fast. Weight would be the second thing. Is it light or is it heavy? Similar to size, meerkat, it's light. It doesn't have like weight to it. It's not like this, right? It's kind of light, like up, light, like that. Very good. Looking around. So speed, weight. What else do we have? We have focus. Focus. Is it intense laser beam focus, or is it kind of not really focused, kind of distant, right? They're kind of laser beam focused because they're looking for predators, right? So that means kind of an intensity, right, in the face, just kind of like that, like this, like that. Very good. So that's kind of how they stand. Let's look at a next image of them sitting. Here we go, them sitting. It's very comical. And that actually brings me to the next question. Is this animal serious or is it kind of funny? Well, some animals can be serious, right? Like, say, a lion. A lion can be serious, right? But a meerkat, it's kind of a silly animal. So I would think this would be great for a comedic role if I was a comedic character in Shakespeare. So that's kind of a funny way to sit. I'm going to try sitting like that. It kind of has its legs kind of curled in like this. Kind of has its like this. Right? Looking around. Kind of has, remember the speed, the lightness to it. Great. So those are some questions you can always ask about an animal. What's the speed? What's the weight? What's its focus? And also, is it a comedic or is it a serious character? Great. So I think that's good on observation. Oh, one more thing. Hands, right? So if you notice, let me bring back that one picture. Great. Look at the hands. You know, the hands, are they out like this? No, they're kind of in. They're kind of curled like this, right? They're kind of in, like the fingers are in. So that's great. I'm putting on the meerkat, right? Let's do away with that image. Great. So this is the meerkat, right? Arms forward, hands are kind of, the fingers are in, and you kind of have the head on the swivel, like that, looking for predators. Great. It's kind of a silly animal. So that's the observe portion. Next, we did the create. I put that into the body, right? I'm creating this animal as I'm going, right? Very good. That's create. So now comes the hard part, is the editing, is the adapting, figuring out, well, what can work for a character. Now, normally, when I'm doing this work, I already have my character, and I'm thinking, I know the character, I know what they want, I know kind of what their status is and where they are in the world of the play. So then, once I know my character, then I decide the animal. I'm kind of doing it in reverse. I'm looking at my animal and then deciding what kind of character it would be. Now, normally that's not how you do this, but since I'm not really playing a character right now, I'm trying to find what this animal could be. And so, naturally, when I think about this action, it's kind of like I'm a guard. It's kind of like I'm guarding, because I'm looking for predators, right? I'm protecting the colony. So if I was playing a guard, there are plenty of guards in Shakespeare, or a soldier, anybody. That'd be actually a pretty funny role to do if I was a soldier or a guard, guarding somebody, right, in a play. Now, Midsummer Night's Dream. That's the play that you are familiar with, and it was the play that I'm cast in future seasons. And I think that if I was going to use the meerkat in the play of A Midsummer Night's Dream, it'd have to be funny, right? It'd have to be silly. And the one part that I can think of in Midsummer Night's Dream is when Puck puts the spell on the lovers, Lysander, Hermia, Demetrius, Helena, that there's that magic spell. And actually, this kind of looks like I'm under a magic spell. Like, say I'm just a normal, and then Puck, waves his wand or whatever and puts them under a spell. right? That I am now under a spell. That's actually kind of how I would adapt this character into moments like that. So observe, create, and then adapt. That's what this work is taking bits and pieces of animal work and figuring out how they can work for a character. Now, there's hundreds of different animals, and I just focused on the meerkat. But you could focus on any animals at home. And that's actually what I want to encourage you to do, is maybe you have a pet at home, maybe you have a favorite animal. So what I'd like you to do is I'd like you just take a little bit of time and think about that animal. If you have a video, like a YouTube video of your favorite animal, or if you do have a pet, just take a couple of minutes. Take a couple of minutes and ask these questions. Ask, like, are they silly or are they serious? Is their speed fast or are they slower? Is their weight light or is the weight heavy? Is their focus, are they kind of distant in their focus, kind of wandering, or are they laser beam intensity focus, right? And think about that. Think about other things that you can pick up on. Think about how do they walk. See if you can walk like them, but see if you can walk like a human. You don't want to walk on all fours, but how would they walk like a human? That's the adapting part. So take a little bit of time and think about that. Think about what your favorite animal is. Think about what your pet at home is, and see if you can put that into the body for a couple of minutes and have fun with it. Once you've spent a little bit of time with that, I'll put some questions up on the screen for you to look at. Spend a little time, and when you're done, unpause it, and I'll see you at the end. So now that you became that animal, the next phase would be to adapt it, trying to figure out what qualities you can use when you're approaching a character in Shakespeare. This is great work that I do in a lot of my productions. I try to find qualities, interesting things to create a character. Now, this isn't just limited to animals. It could be anything that we find out in the world is inspirational. That could be music, that could be paintings, it could be other people in the world. Because so much of what we do is we try to observe the world around us. We try to observe and create, and then collaboratively with the other actors and directors, we try to adapt that to a production. So I encourage you, when you're out in the world, and if you're people watching, if you're animal watching, if you're going to a museum and looking at paintings, or if you're just listening to music, try to really work on those observation skills and those questions that I asked you. What's the speed? What's the weight? What's the focus? Is it comedic? Is it serious? Because the more we can fine-tune our observation skills, the better we can create and the better we can adapt. So I hope you had fun. I hope you learned some things. I would have loved to see every single one of your animals. Until next time, have a great, wonderful day.